Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Connect Her. I have with me today a lovely lady that I met through one of the Connect Her events, which is in our Patterson Lakes event, which is in Melbourne. And I have the gorgeous Birgit Livesey. Hi, Birgit.
Hi, Lee. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And you've been doing some great work for us, which has just been fantastic. So I want to thank you before we even get started to say you have made my life an absolute dream.
Oh wow. Love to hear that. Pleasure's all mine.
Yes.
Love working with you.
Look, it's just been fantastic. So, and I really wanted to get you on the program today to help people understand, first of all, about you, but also how your business can help other businesses to grow and expand, because we really need to work on what we're good at, not spend hours trying to make ourselves good at something else, which I learnt that pretty quickly. But before we get started, what's the last song or maybe a podcast that you've listened to on your phone?
On my phone, right. Well, I don't really listen that much on my phone, but the last song that I listened to was from the Scorpions, German rock band, Wind of Change.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Right, go and YouTube it.
I will have to YouTube it. Yes,
definitely. Yep.
So,
yes.
Sounds interesting.
I think for any listeners or viewers who have maybe a European background, they'll know the significance of that song for the Berlin Wall and things like that. So,
you've got me intrigued now. I will definitely go and YouTube it. So
definitely, yep.
Now, tell me, what was your first foray into business?
Right. Well, that was about 9 years ago with my husband. We actually bought a business, a printing and office supply business, and it was the first foray for both of us, which was really interesting. And yeah, we learned a lot in that time, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It's amazing what you all of a sudden have to make yourself learn all of a sudden, because there isn't anybody else. And I've just talked about it on the podcast series before, where I came from a corporate background where if you wanted a new flyer or a new brochure, you just go to the marketing department. And all of a sudden, as a business owner, you are the marketing department, and you're the accounts department, and you're the development department. So
yes, and the customer service.
Yes.
And yes, there's so many hats that we had to start learning to wear. Even though there were two of us, we figured out pretty quickly where our strengths were, and then kind of divided the business in those two different areas. So that was really good, having someone else on board.
Yeah, that you had both of you to play off against, which is just great.
Exactly. Yes, that's right.
So tell us about your current business. So the Business Support Factory, which has been a fantastic support for my business. So tell us about your current business.
Okay, the Business Support Factory is my VA baby, so to speak. Been doing it for just under 5 years now, and I love supporting other people. And I love supporting them by using my techie nerdy side. So I love tools and apps and softwares and connecting the dots. So if someone's not very tech savvy, then I love jumping in and saying, okay, well, where are you at? What do you need? And how can I help?
And where did you find that when did you find that you loved all the tech and that you were savvy at it?
Well, actually, that took me quite a while. I think out of the 5 years, it's been 4 years where I was a generic VA, so to speak. And I just figured out, what do I really love doing? And just over the last 12 months, I really drilled down with the help from a coach to realize, well, this is really where my passion lies. And looking back, I also realized that a lot of the time in my days of employees, that's what I was drawn to, that's what I was doing a lot. So it was just kind of a natural step to progress into that, really.
So Birgit, when you're looking at techie sort of stuff, is that somebody needs help to set up an app to do something for them, or like I've just spent a whole lot of time this morning on Hootsuite, which was an old account, and so I had to delete my old account and put on my new account. This is where somebody could say to you, this is what I need done, and you would go off and do it. I mean, I'm reasonably techie myself for my age. But is that the sort of thing that you're talking about?
Yes, that's obviously part of a bit further once you know what you need. But I'm pretty passionate about actually making sure that you have clarity on what you need, especially if you're new in business and you're starting out, and there's so much information out there and so many recommendations that we can get lost in signing up for dozens and dozens of different things that we should be using in business because that's how everybody else does it. But I'm more about simplicity and just looking at what do you really need, and then helping that, setting that up and making sure they could even do it themselves if they wanted to, if they don't want to have my help. Just giving that confidence, basically, that technology is not scary, it's not overwhelming. It's a part of our business journey, and it doesn't have to be difficult, or you're going to pull your hair out for it.
Sure.
That's kind of where my sweet spot lies, just finding the clarity and then helping implement it and making sure there's a confidence level that you can do it yourself as well.
I know that when I first started out, things like Twitter were pretty new. Facebook was pretty new. Mostly people had a website, and that was virtually it. Back when I was starting out. And then all of a sudden we started to get things like, Twitter, it was around, but it wasn't widely used. So we had Twitter, and then we had Facebook was starting to come in. Instead of being for young kids, it was more for business. We're starting to get into it. So all of a sudden I know that I got into the problem of bright, shiny objects like, oh, here's Facebook, oh, here's MySpace, here's Twitter, here's YouTube, here's Instagram. I mean, Instagram being new, that all of a sudden I was trying everything, and I had this huge social media footprint, but I was leaving, footprints that weren't actually active. So I like the fact that you're talking about what is it that I really need, getting clarity so that you're not leaving abandoned footprints of your business on social media. I think that is a really good takeaway that I think businesses should be really aware of.
Yeah, and it's not just social media, but that's one of the biggest chunks, obviously, that leaves a footprint because it's on the internet. But also internally, there's so many things we probably sign up for and we never use it. We might use it once, or it's not the right fit, or you use it because someone else said you should be using it, not taking consideration that you might work completely different than the friend who recommended it. So that's just something I've noticed along the way, and it really got me kind of fired up, and I'm thinking, why are we doing all this? I did it myself. I still have to tidy up some stuff. So, no one's immune to it, but especially if you're starting out and you're overwhelmed, I think, just take a step back and start with the basics. There's no need for expensive things or something that's actually aimed at corporates or someone with like a team around them if you're just a solopreneur. So that's why, I do what I do. I
love that. So your current business, what would you say that you find challenging about your business?
Just using
we all have challenges.
I think it's just using the word I'm a techie VA, and everyone goes, oh, technology, no, I hate it, I'm not tech savvy. And I feel like people are stepping back going, oh no, you're not going to try to make me use something I don't want. So it's that perception that technology is not good.
Or scary.
Scary or not beneficial, or it's overwhelming and frustrating.
Where you take that out of it and simplify it. So they should be, when they hear techie VA, go, oh yes, I've found the right person.
Exactly. So that's one challenge. And obviously the other one is I'm like everybody else. I probably do the same things that I say to people don't do it. So it's keeping myself in line as well to a certain degree. But you know, it's a journey, and we all learn from our mistakes and we turn them into something positive. And yeah, that's the best way we can help others.
Excellent. So when you say that is a challenge, that people sort of step back, have you, with your coach, looked at ways of rewording it so that people don't take a step back, or is it something that you feel it's more important to educate people than opposed to try and reword it?
That's a good question. And it's something I'm currently working on. I do feel there needs to be a bit of a change on how I approach it and how I communicate that to others, and also make them aware that what I do is not just necessarily doing the work, but also helping the clarity bit. So there is definitely some work going on in the background, and with Christmas coming up, that's always a good time because things slow down and you can take a breather.
You're right.
So yes.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic time to sit down and look at where you want to be next year, what worked well this year, what can be changed, what can be tweaked. I love that time of year for sure.
Yes, me too.
Yes, so you get to actually work on your business. And rejig, and so everybody has challenges in their business, so thank you for being honest and sharing that with us. Really appreciate that. Because sometimes we look at people and go, oh, you know, they've got everything, it's working so well for them, or they've really got that set up. Where we all have challenges, and sometimes we try and hide them or we don't share them, which you know, I think I like that question when somebody puts it to me, because we all have challenges. So but we also have something that's super favorite in our business as well. So what would be your favorite part of your business?
Working with my clients and since becoming very clear on who I work best with, it really has brightened up my whole day. Just seeing the impact and the support that I can be to these people, and seeing the change that's happening at their end as well is, I think that's one of my absolute definite highlights, and I love doing that. Just seeing that change and that impact just small things can have on someone else in business.
I think because I've had you doing some work for us at Connect Her, and which I mentioned at the beginning, and I have to say, I didn't realise how much of an impact it would be. So I had things sitting there waiting to be done, and it's like, oh, I'll just put it aside. And that, you know, that pile grew. And even though you don't think so, it still sits in the back of your mind thinking, oh, I really need to get that done. When I actually said, right, I'm going to set up a system and just email you what I need as it comes in, it's just like a huge weight is off my shoulders, so that I can then focus on what I can do in my business, as opposed to something that you're quick at, where, you know, it takes me a lot longer. So I totally get what you're saying about seeing the change for your clients, because it wasn't something that I thought would have a big impact. You know, it was just like, oh, I'll just send this to the business support factory, and that's good. That's one off my list. But I didn't actually realise that weight had been sitting on my shoulders. So I think that's important for you to know too, that it is a big weight off your shoulders. So
yes, thank you.
Now, think about your day one self in your business. So not your family business, but your business, your business support factory. If you could whisper in the ear of your day one self, what would you tell her?
Wow. Okay. There's probably a few things, but the most important thing is to use your introverted side as your superpower. Have faith and trust in it, And yeah, do that. Use it, believe in it, and go for it.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that,
You're
because
welcome.
it's you know, when you are introverted, you look at people that are extroverted and go, oh my gosh, I wish I could be like them.
Yes.
When you're an extrovert, hello, you sit there and go, gee, I wish I could just pull back sometimes, you know, that. So I think we always wish what the other one's got.
Yeah, true.
But yes, I think also in the role that you in with your business too, that being an introvert can have that calming effect on people that are, you know, overwhelmed with what needs to be done. So that nice calming that they think,
yeah,
it's over there now.
That's right. And having that ability to analyze quietly in a corner, basically.
Yeah.
And getting an overview. And that's one of the really good skills I would say almost every introvert has, is being able to observe and really get to the point, to that painful spot of other people in business, and being able to use that to make a change. So I think that's a biggie for me, and I know for other introverts that I know. So yes, for sure.
I'm actually a fully qualified primary colours personality profiler and certified trainer. And one of the things is looking at the different personality types. And a blue is definitely somebody that is quite often introverted, but definitely can drill down and look at what problems lie ahead. And they really just, you know, focus on, sometimes they can be seen as negative because they can see a problem before it happens. But businesses need a blue personality because they can drill down and as I said, they're quite often introverted, but they can see problems way before anybody else can, because they've got that analytical eye and ear as well. So
yeah,
so you're in the right spot. Yeah, so not that I've done your colour profiling, but
no, you haven't. You might have to, though. It would be interesting.
Yes, you do have those personality traits. So
there you go.
I have to say, I wasn't sure when I really needed to use your services, and I probably needed them in my previous business, but I was always a little bit hesitant to hand over control because I'm a control freak. Got to know everything, got to be on top of everything. What tips would you give a business to, first of all, to consider outsourcing some of their roles, and what can they do to get into the process for their first time of outsourcing to somebody like you?
Okay. Right. I think the first thing that anyone really should do, even with not considering outsourcing, is have your systems and processes locked down as much as you can. I'm not saying in absolute detail, but what you do repetitively in your business, just do 1, 2, 3, 4 step list. So you know what you're doing, and it's like your own internal manual. And then when the time comes and you realize, well, even though I'm a control freak, I've got to let something go, it's much easier to take that and look at it and think, this is really easy. I can let that go. I feel confident letting that go. And I've already got a manual. So, or just a step-by-step to-do list. Then it's so much easier to have that clarity as well. Well, what do I need to let go, and how, and to whom? So you really already have the knowledge, and it's easier to let it go because you feel more confident to give it to somebody else. I think these are sort of really things that I think are important to have that in place. And once you're ready to get someone on board, ask for referral. There's fantastic VA networks out there, because a VA is basically just another business owner with specific set of skills. So because I'm a techie VA, there's copywriters, there's website designers. So that's another thing you can obviously think about is in what area does that fit? And once you have more clarity, then it's easier to really let someone in.
So would it be fair to say, and I'd never actually thought of this, that you may have 2 or 3 different VAs working on your business? Like you may have somebody that does your copywriting, somebody else that helps with your website, and then someone else that does what you do with your technology and that sort of thing. Would that be fair to say, or would it be better to have somebody that covers off, say, 90% of it?
I would say, and keeping in mind that some of the VAs you might not need continuously, you might need them for certain projects only. I say go to the people who really have the expertise. So if it's something like you say copywriting, don't come to me. Yeah, I'm honest and say I don't have that skill. I would refer you to someone that is really good at it. So there can be times where you probably have 2-3 people who are in your team. And then there might be times where you just have one VA who does generic work, like maybe data entry, email responding, email management, appointment setting. So these are things that, I don't like saying a generic VA because it sounds really degrading, but it's not. I don't mean it that way. But yeah, so you can have more than one at a time.
But it's sort of like an office administration.
Yes.
A VA. Yeah. Instead of somebody that drills down into a particular niche or a particular area.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I never actually thought about that until you were talking, and I was thinking, oh gosh, there are a couple of other areas that I don't have the skill set, but I don't want to have somebody that I've got on my books forever. It might be just for one job. So yeah, you really got me thinking then. So thank you for that.
And keep in mind our accountant bookkeeper, because everything's done virtually.
Yes.
On the same line. So you're already outsourcing without knowing.
Exactly right. So, and any final tips, any golden nuggets, gems or such that you can share with us today?
Okay, well, from my own techie VA perspective, I always say breathe and do it one little nugget at a time. If you got a problem, and if you in the end cannot fix it or can't do it and you're completely frustrated, go and reach out. There's always someone that can help you. If it's not someone like me, it might be Lee, because she's done it before. So don't hesitate to reach out. The other thing that I would like to mention is having a network of people who can complement each other has been gold for me. So something like Connect Her, meeting other ladies in business really helped me with my business as well. Keeps me level-headed, keeps me inspired, keeps me going. So these are, I think, the 2 main things I wanted to mention.
Fantastic. I'll take that little advert for Connect Her, because you're right. It does, it's not, networking necessarily isn't about gaining business. It's great and it's a bonus, but it's also, as you say, that connection, especially when we work quite often from home, or, we are solopreneurs. It's hard to stay motivated and it's hard to stay inspired when, I don't know about you, but I have a sneaky peek at Facebook every now and then, and I see somebody's off, having a nice lunch, and I'm drowning in paperwork, and you think, oh, woe is me. So when you've got somewhere to go out and connect and meet people, and, pick up those nuggets, I think you're spot on there. Yes. So I will take that. So now let us just share your website with everybody. So I'll head it over to you.
Yes, sure. It's a bit of a shortcut. So it's not the whole business support factory. It's just tbsf.com.au.
Excellent. We will have all those details in the show notes. We will have links to Birgit's website. so that you can connect with her. You've got a fantastic blog. Now, we shared that blog on our Connect Her Collective, which inspired me to one of our previous podcasts, which was how I use sticky notes in my business, and I loved what you were talking about. So
thank you. Yes, I saw that.
We got a lot of conversation going for that. Yes,
so fantastic. Loved it.
So head over to the Business Support Factory, which is tbsf.com.au. Check out Birgit's blog. It's got some great little nuggets in there, and you've got some fantastic packages as well. So have a look at those packages. Hit Birgit up for a chat on how she can help you with your business, because you will not be sorry, let me tell you that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on, taking time out of your business to be part of the Connect Her podcast and also our YouTube channel. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to connect with you again.
Thank you so much for having me, Lee. Thanks everyone for listening.
Great. Thanks, Birgit.
Thanks. Bye.